Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how I do my brows. So we're going to start off with one brow, looking a little cray, but we'll fix that all in the end. I'm going to be taking my favorite Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil in the shade Medium Ash. For my hair color, I think this works the best, but obviously just tailor it to what your needs are. So as a guideline, when you're starting your brows, you kind of want to do it in line with the edge of your nose and the front of your eye. Now, some people like to go a little farther in just in order to decentrate their nose, but depending on what kind of look you're going for in the end will dictate how far you want to start your brows inward. And then the arch is going to go through the iris or the pupil of your eye, and the tail end of your brow is going to be in line with the end of your eye. Now here I'm starting off by making some short feathery strokes at the bottom border of my brow. Starting here gives you a better guideline of how your brow is going to look when you're complete. I then start connecting those small feathery strokes into longer, darker lines to make a more consistent color throughout my brow. This doesn't need to be perfect because at the end we're going to clean it up. Now you can start to see a more defined line of how my brow is going to look when I'm complete. So now I just start filling in the rest of my brow, working towards the top border, and then at the end I'm going to start working on the arch. So your main goal here is just to build up the color to what you want it to look like, and then at the end we're going to work on the consistency and how the rest of the brow looks. So just focus on building up your color here. So we're almost there. Brow almost looks complete, but I'm going to take my pencil and just fill in those little gaps that still need color. Now taking the spoolie end of my Anastasia Brow Wiz, I'm going to comb through my brows, and this is going to make the color throughout my brows a little bit more consistent and make it look less like we just penciled in our brows. This doesn't need to be perfect, like I said before. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Eco Tools brush and make sure it's totally clean. It's an angle brush that's a little bit dense, and what we're going to be doing is creating that gradient effect in the front of our brows. So it's very important to place your brush in the right position, having half of it in the front where there's no color and half of it where there is color. Now we're going to start feathering in the brows from the beginning, and that's going to create that really awesome gradient look. So just take that and work it through the rest of your brows. This is going to help make the consistency of the color look better. And then having that product, I'm going to go to the tail and just kind of feather out the edge of the tail. Looks a lot better now, huh? So the last thing I do with that angle brush is just run it through my brows and make sure that the color is consistent of how I want it to look. Now the last thing I'm going to do is take a flat, precise brush and some concealer, and you want to make sure that the shade of concealer that you have is the right shade because you don't want your brows to end up looking like you just outlined them with a bunch of white paint. Now I'm just going to take that brush with my concealer and I'm just going to clean up the edges of my brows. I think that this step, if not the feathering step, is probably the most key thing in getting my brows to look the way that they do. When we took our angled brush earlier and kind of made that color consistent throughout by feathering it throughout our brow, sometimes the lines of our brows can get muddy, so what we're doing here is just taking the concealer and making the edges of our brows a little bit more defined. So I'm going to take that on the edge of my brows, underneath the brow arch, and on the top of my brow as well. Just cleaning up those small edges makes a big difference. So the last thing we're going to do is just take our finger and blend where we put that concealer around our brows, just to make it look like we really didn't even put anything there. And that's it. That is all there is to doing my brows. Thank you guys so much for watching. It really means a lot to me. And I hope you guys have a great day and a wonderful week. And I will see you guys in my next video.